Hey everybody, how's it going? How have you been? Where have you been? What have you been up to? This is a new camera and I don't know how to use it, but that's okay. This is a trial run and I just want to catch you guys up to what's been going on with me. That's the only reason for this video, is to catch you guys up with what's been going on with me and how I've been enjoying apartment living for the last 3 months. Can you believe it has already been 3 months since I sold my house and moved into an apartment? Crazy. Crazy. I hope you guys have had a fantastic first half of the year. We are now getting into Halloween shopping season. I know, sounds crazy. It kind of snuck up on me, not gonna lie. But I'm really excited because the first shopping trip of the year is gonna be in the mountains. My first Halloween shopping trip is going to be in the mountains and I am fucking stoked. So yeah, let's catch you guys up. Okay, so if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe if you want to be part of the spooky fam. And if not, that's cool. We're just happy to have you. It's fine. I moved in about 3 months ago. If you haven't got caught up yet to like the goings on with the apartment and how I've decorated the place, please go watch the last couple of videos on this channel. It gets you. I did a couple of tours of the place. But yeah, I mean, I will say, obviously, it's a huge adjustment going from, home living to apartment living. We didn't move too far. In fact, we only moved about 20 minutes away from the house. So it's not a huge geographic change, but the lifestyle is definitely very, very different. I can say that I've become way more active. That's a huge plus. I've been taking Roscoe on regular walks and he has a little dog parking play-in. Anytime I get packages, I walk all the way down to the office and to the package locker to get my stuff. And I do a lot of online shopping, so that means a lot of walking. But I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. I actually really enjoy all the walking I'm getting to do. And like, I guess before I didn't really have a purpose. There was nothing within walking distance at my old place. So there was really no need or no reason to walk. But in this new place, like, I get to do a lot of walking. I like it. It's nice. Roscoe's made a lot of new puppy friends, which has been awesome. He's gotten really socialized. We've met several golden retrievers in the neighborhood that are just super sweet and love playing with Roscoe. We've met a couple of mutts and mixed breeds that have been really, really nice. So it's been awesome to see him get to interact with other dogs. That's been really cool. And then the girls really like their school. They've made a couple of friends and they seem to be really, really enjoying their new place, their new school. And they seem to be flourishing. They seem to be doing a lot better in that environment than the previous school, which is a huge relief for me. I honestly was very worried about that, like uprooting them from the school that they knew for the last 4 or 5 years. It's a big change, so I was really concerned that they weren't going to like it. And I am beyond happy to know that they absolutely love it. So that's been awesome. We do love the fact that we are conveniently located right across the street from a Starbucks and a Smoothie King. And so on days where I kind of forget to get lunch, I drop by the Smoothie King. That's been a really cool convenience. I got the apartment decorated in like record time. I got everything put together and where it goes so quickly. It's almost weird. Like, I don't have anything else to unpack. It's all done. We're all settled. It took maybe 2 weeks to get everything unpacked and ready to go. And I thought that was really a huge relief as well. And we just kind of fell into a routine so quickly. The maintenance crew at this apartment complex is top notch. I have only had a couple of issues. They were very minor and they got them fixed very quickly. I only had to like reach out once through our little ticketing system on this app and they come right out and got everything taken care of. So that's been awesome. They replaced the air filters for us, which that's cool. At my old apartment years and years and years ago, they would never do that. So that's cool that I don't have to worry about that ever again. You know, I was able to actually downgrade my, my storage unit. I didn't have to because I got a storage unit. I wasn't sure. I was going from a house to an apartment, so I really assumed I was going to have a ton of stuff to put into storage. But as it turns out, I really don't. I was able to get the smallest unit they have. So I was able to move from one unit to another and like cut the cost in half, which has been awesome. So like I don't have any clutter. Everything has its place, and I have plenty of space for more stuff, which I thought was not possible. I think it's just the square footage here is about the same as the square footage of my old house, but the square footage is a lot more well configured. I don't know. It's utilized better. That's the word I'm looking for, I think. You get what I mean. So that has been a huge thing. I've met several really friendly people here. I've gotten to socialize with adults without even leaving. It's great. I never get to socialize. And so, you know, me going on my walks with Roscoe and me going up to, you know, the mailbox and stuff, I run into so many cool people, and they've all been super, super nice and friendly. So that's been a huge relief as well. Another good thing, my ex-husband, he works like 15 minutes down the road from my new place. And so he's able to come see the kids here a lot more often. And so the kids have gotten to kind of, I guess, reconnect with him in a way. And I've gotten to reconnect with him in like a more co-parenting way. So we're effectively communicating a lot better now. And it's only helped, you know what I mean? It's only helped them, you know, so it's been a big transition and something I definitely did not anticipate. So that's been really cool. He is looking, my ex-husband is looking at getting a new place. Fingers crossed. I think he found a place. So he'll actually have a place for our kids to stay so they can stay the night with daddy. And that will free up some time for me so I can actually have a social life again. So it's just a win-win, you know, things are coming up Millhouse. The pool is amazing. I still have a bit of a sunburn. I've had to invest in some hardcore SPF because I've been spending a lot more time outside than I used to, which my fair skin is not used to at all. And my face looks drastically more pale than the rest of me, which is kind of silly. I don't know how to fix it. I'm just trying to, again, use SPF 50 and above. I have a daily SPF of 100 that I've been using, and I'm hoping that will kind of minimize the amount of sunburns I've been getting. They're not hardcore or like painful. They just look silly. I just think this looks silly, right? Like this is my normal skin tone, which matches my foundation. But because I have this, it doesn't look like it matches my foundation. So it's just been a little, yeah. Anyway, so that's been good though. It's good to get more vitamin D. Oh, before I go into like the rest of the video, I do want to tell you, this is not sponsored, but I found the coolest eyeshadow palette. So the eyeshadow look I'm wearing today, this is an eyeshadow palette. It's by Alchemy Mythosis, I think. I got it from Vampire Boutique, but there's other sites that sell it. I think Hot Topic has this on their website. I think it's like the Vintage Jack-o'-lantern palette or something like that. I'll put the name below because I can't remember the exact name of it. But I love it. One weird thing about this palette that I found interesting, it is magnetic. There is no hinge. There's no hinge. It's just magnetic cardboard. So this comes off completely. So, you know, can use this as a mirror. Spooky, scary skeletons. I'm stupid. Okay. And then this is the palette. I love these shades so much. But today, I am wearing this on the lid, Autumn. I'm wearing that on the lid. Then I'm wearing this Trick or Treat, which is like a shimmery yellow on the inner corner. I'm wearing Casket to blend out this crease here. And then I did put a little bit of Haunted right here on the the outer corner to darken that up. And then I put Apparition on my waterline. So, it's really fun. I like this palette a lot. So I wanted to share it with you because I know you guys are also spooky like me. And I just thought you would appreciate the vintage jack-o'-lantern aesthetic. The shades are super pigmented. It is very easy to blend. I could not recommend that more. So if you are interested, I did get a new camera. I said that at the beginning of the video, but this is what I'm filming on. I've been using the same vlogging camera for about 9 years, so I owed it to myself to upgrade, especially if this is what I'm going to be doing on a regular basis. I need a better camera. And it occurs to me that maybe I'm not such a bad videographer. Maybe my camera's stability didn't work anymore. Again, I think my old camera, I think the stabilizer on it went out a long time ago because there was a time where my videos weren't so shaky, but I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining that. I'm not sure, but this is supposed to have a really good stabilizer. It also has like a little stick I can attach to it so I can walk around with it a lot easier. All in all, it's a better camera. So hopefully the quality is up to par. I'll still need to probably mess with some settings here and there, but so far I'm liking it. Okay, so obviously I had a lot of people say like, oh my gosh, it's so weird to me that you sold your house in this economy. Why? I don't understand your methodology. I don't understand your thought process, which I totally understand. So I wanted to kind of speak to that a little bit, and then we'll go into the negatives of living in an apartment. There's not too many, but there's definitely some. But yeah, so to answer the people who are confused as to why I made this change. So when I bought my house in 2014, obviously I was married at the time, and I just had a baby, and we were living in a really bad apartment. This apartment was about $750 a month, and it was in the like really bad part of town. So we're talking like crime, drugs, loud, like the bad side of town. That's where we were living. And again, you know, it was about $750 a month for the rent. Again, that was back in 2014. Sorry, I'm trying to keep track of the dates. And my rent was going up to $775. The houses were a lot more affordable back then. At that point, I had a really good credit score, and I did the math, and I realized I could buy a house, no money down, with payments about $750 a month, and that would include property taxes and home insurance. And so financially, it made the most sense. I found a house for $117,000. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square foot, fenced in backyard. It was a bit of a fixer-upper, but I didn't know how much of a fixer-upper at the time. And I had a husband, I had a baby. I was like, this is where we're going to start our life, right? And, we found a great house, great deal. That's when the housing market it had crashed. No one was buying houses back then. It was really, really difficult to sell a house back in 2014. That was one of the many, market crashes that we experienced, right? So due to that, I was able to really benefit from the fact that the economy was in the shits, and I was able to get away with buying a house that's super, super, super cheap with a really, really good percentage rating. So it was just a financially smart move for me to do. However, I had a lot of goals, and I had a lot of thoughts and wishes and prayers about that place, and none of them came to fruition. Unfortunately, my ex-husband and I were not in a good place. Our marriage was crumbling, and we were not doing well, and he was not an active member of the family. He wasn't helping me around the house. He wasn't, trying to help me Financially, he was not working. He refused to work. And so financially, we started to struggle. Even though our home payment was so low, we were still struggling because we were a one-income house, and I was working at like Verizon Wireless at the time. And so, I wasn't able to fix the things that needed to get fixed. And if you're a homeowner, if you know a homeowner and you know where this is going, you can't just not fix things and hope for the best. Not with a house. Because then they start to pile up, and they continued to pile up. And then I went through the divorce, and, I was a single mom, and so I was struggling then. Then I had to refinance because of the divorce. And so then the house payment went from $750 to $1,000. And I had so many repairs that I had to do, and I wasn't going to be able to afford it. Not now, not in 5 years. I was not going to be able to afford the repairs that were going to need to be done on that house. The roof, we had not replaced the roof since we moved in, and, we'd been there for about 10 years. The house is from 1989. We were going to need a new roof very soon. The plumbing, I'm pretty sure the plumbing was shot, because again, we've been there for 10 years and things start to go bad. So my energy bills were through the roof because of the vaulted ceiling. It takes up so much airspace. Also, I had some very scary moments. I can't say definitively that the internet knew where I lived. I can't say that for sure. I can't say for sure that what I was experiencing had anything to do with a stalker. I have no idea. I never proved it. But I had some really weird occurrences that started to occur right about the time I left my ex-husband on through when I left that house. I was finding weird things that indicated people were kind of walking around my fence. I had indications that maybe somebody was messing with my doors. But again, nothing proven. And it started to just make me feel really uneasy. I felt very isolated because, if you're living in a house, your house is going to have certain characteristics that stand out where people can identify them easier. And yes, I know I don't live in a life of ambiguity, and I know that it's very possible for somebody to find me on the internet, but I felt like a sitting duck where I was. I had a former police officer that lived next to me that was very protective. We had a sheriff that lived across the street from me. We had another family that was across the street from me that was very protective of us. So I felt somewhat safe, but I did have a couple of occurrences that scared me to death. And so because of that, I just felt like I needed to get somewhere else. I just needed to be somewhere not there. And I feel a little bit more anonymous in an apartment because all the apartments look the same. You have a ton of buildings. So, the chances of somebody figuring out where you are very slim. And then if they do, I have an on-call courtesy officer that lives in the building with me. So that's great, So it makes me feel a little bit more secure. There's only one entry point to my apartment. We're on an upper level, so it's not like they can climb. There's only one door, so it's not like multiple doors that I have to keep secured. So there's just a lot of factors that make me feel a little bit more safe. It is a seller's market. Selling a house right now is so stupid easy and happens so quick. It was the fastest. I didn't understand how much of a seller's market it is right now. Oh my God. So like I said, when I bought my house, it was a buyer's market. It benefited the buyer. Now it benefits the seller because not only was able to sell it super quick, but well over asking. And I put it on the market and it was sold within a month. Sold and closed everything within a month. And that house needed a ton of work. So if I had waited for a time that was easier, I guess, to move, then, who knows how long it would have taken for me to sell. And maybe I wouldn't have been able to make as much money off of it. And then at that point, how many more repairs would I have needed to do before it was in condition to sell? You have to have certain things, you can't sell homes in dilapidated condition. There are certain repairs that are required before you can even sell the house. Even though we sold it as is, there was still certain things that if I didn't get them fixed before putting on the market, I wouldn't have been able to actually complete the contract. So, had I waited longer, who knows what else would have broken and what else I would have had to get fixed. There's just so many things that, said, this is the time. Get out now. You don't like this house. And I think, again, it's the emotional stuff that went into that house and all the bad that happened in that home, all the negative thoughts and feelings. They really were very toxic to live within. So I felt it was time. I don't fault anybody for not understanding my methodology here, but that's the why. I made a good chunk of money off of it. It's still sitting in savings. I haven't even touched it yet. So once I decide that I want to move into a house or if I want to relocate, I have that money that I can kind of work off of. I was able to pay off all of my debt. So I was able to pay off the house. I was able to pay off my car. I was able to pay off both of my credit cards. So now none of those monthly payments are a factor. So the fact that this apartment is a bit more expensive monthly, it works out in the end. Because I'm paying $2,000 a month to live here. My mortgage was $1,000 a month, but I had additional bills at that place that I don't have here. Homeowners insurance and all that. I had to pay for trash pickup, which I don't have to pay for here. I had to pay for internet there, which I don't have to pay for internet here. So there's just a lot of stuff that I was able to kind of balance things out with. And we're good. Financially, this move was great. We are not hurting. My budget didn't take a dip. If anything, I think we're in a better spot financially. I'm rebuilding my credit. My credit score has jumped through the roof. So these factors definitely helped and made me go, this is the right decision. This is the way I was supposed to do it. We're good. I don't know if I'm going to stay here. I don't know if I'm going to stay in apartment living, but I do know that was the right move. So let's just talk about some of the downsides. Some of the you're going to have some pluses, but you're going to have some minuses too, right? Anytime you make a big change like this, there's going to be a give and take. The neighbors are very loud. We have very loud neighbors. The people who live up above us, they have like 7 children or something insane. And they're coming and going at all hours of the night, really, really late. They're on a much different schedule than we are. And, if it was just walking around, it'd be one thing. But, oh my gosh, sometimes it sounds like they're throwing each other through the floor. It's like banging and like furniture moving. And it's a lot. I'm getting used to that. There are definitely nights where I've lost some sleep over the amount of noise that I'm hearing. But then there are other nights where it's quiet. Right now, it's quiet. You can hear my kids watching YouTube in the other room. But other than that, it's super, super quiet. So the stairs, I don't like the stairs. They are wreaking havoc on my knees. My glutes are amazing, but my knees are dying. Every time I have to take groceries upstairs or anything like that, it's difficult. Having to get up at like 4 a.m. and get some clothes on and get Roscoe ready and take him out for a walk versus just letting him out the back door like I used to. That's been a challenge for me. Getting Roscoe used to going to the bathroom on a leash was a challenge, but he's getting a lot better at it. He's learning. He's a very smart dog, so I'm very thankful of that. But yeah, like at 4 o'clock in the morning when he starts whimpering that he needs to go out, go outside, I'm like, okay, fine. And then you have to get him on the leash, and you have to walk downstairs with wobbly knees because you're like half awake. That's not fun. But like I said, these are all very minuscule things that I'm going to get over. But yeah, it's been a bit of a challenge. I think mostly just the stairs and the loud neighbors have been the biggest challenges for me. I'm not going to have the freedom to decorate the outside of my apartment for Halloween. I don't have a balcony and I don't have like a porch or anything. But honestly, I'm really okay with that. I know that was another question that a lot of people had, is like, what are you going to do to decorate for Halloween? Like, how are you going to decorate? My decorations are going to live inside, and maybe in the front window, we're going to do some fun stuff. But honestly, getting the outside of the house decorated every year, I was dreading it. Literally last year, I was like, oh, I did not want to decorate the outside of my house at all last year. I was so done. I was so over it. And it's a lot of work, and it wasn't even fun anymore. And so, yeah, I'm kind of good. I'm happy about that. I have, all my outside Halloween decorations in storage bins in my storage unit. So I didn't get rid of a lot of them, but I'm not going to be buying any new ones this year. So that's going to be one part of the Halloween shopping experience. It's going to be a little bit different. I might look at some of the doormats. I might look at the door wreaths or the door decorations. But outside of that, it's all going to be internal decor that I'm going to be looking at. So I don't know though, I'm really excited about this. I think this is just a really good new chapter. I think one of the coolest things about this, or the coolest aspects of this, suddenly Coke. Suddenly, like, I just realized, sorry, I had a coughing fit and I realized I hadn't had anything to drink in like a couple of hours. So I think what I like about apartment living, another plus, is I'm not stuck. I felt really stuck with the old house because I knew I couldn't just leave. I would have to sell it. I'd have to clean it and organize it and get it ready for sale and then put it up and then have random strangers walk through the house for however long it took. And then, negotiate contracts and all that shit, right? There was so much legal BS going into selling a house. And so I just felt really, really stuck. I felt very committed to that house. And I didn't like that feeling. I didn't like that I couldn't just up and leave if I wasn't happy there. And so now it's like, okay, if I end up hating this apartment, if I end up not being able to afford this apartment, or if I end up wanting to move to a different area, I can. All I have to do is give a 30-day notice and find somewhere else. That is it. And that is a really liberating feeling. To be perfectly frank, it really has lifted so much stress off of my shoulders. So, say that to say this. Will we stay at this apartment? Who knows? I'm happy here right now, but if we decide this place is too expensive or if we want to move to a different area, we can. And I'm really happy about that too. Home is where the heart is, and there's no truer statement. The kids and I have adjusted so well to living here, and I feel like if we needed to do it again, we could. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited. Things have been going really well for me here, and I've been able to, really not miss a beat in regard to my Twitch channel. I haven't really had to do much to change anything of my life, and I'm just really happy. So anyway, okay, so I just wanted to kind of update you guys. So thank you so much for listening to me babble and talk about life here in an apartment. It's been awesome, and I'm looking forward to making more memories here, and I'm looking forward to Halloween shopping. Like I said, I'm going to the mountains in just a couple weeks. I'm going to be in North Carolina, in Asheville, and we're going to do some Halloween shopping up there and see if their early Halloween stores, if they're better than ours, maybe, possibly. So that'll be really fun. And of course, you guys are coming along on that. And yeah, I'm excited. Okay, you guys are amazing. You are gorgeous. And if anyone tells you anything different, they can suck it. Mwah.